let's get into our around the league with Rukudzo. A lot of things happened. A lot of Hakayitika crazy things.
It's going to be a crazy episode, actually. I have a lot to say.
Listen.
I have a lot to say.
Let's start with,
The more subtle things.
The subtle things.
Yeah. I think let's start with Ngezi. Yeah. They keep winning. Oh, they're not losing.
They're not losing. Let's put it that way. It's still unbeaten. 14 games in the season now, approaching the halfway stage. 17 games is just 3 games away now. So at this point now, we have to take them seriously. Don't forget, this team came into the season rather, with a FIFA transfer ban because of their issues of not paying past coaches like Benjamin Marwari. They also had like about 9 players leaving them, 7 of them going to Caps United. They lost their head coach as well to Caps United. So a lot of us were maybe expecting them to struggle this season, but it looks like their youth system has produced some very good players that have stepped up now in the absence of those senior players, and they're still unbeaten. They come off now a 4-2 win, or allow your Chiefs very, very good win indeed. It was pretty much their wings, their wingers were on fire. Orlando Shaharevi as well as Tanaka Mnemu, both of them scoring an assist. Mnemu actually had 2 assists as well as a goal. So that was actually what put them in a good position to beat Walayo Chiefs, who usually are very stubborn opponents. But for them to concede 4 goals there at Baobab Stadium, I think it shows that Ngezi Platinum Stars are firing on all cylinders. Yes, they had 3 straight draws before this win, but the fact is the mental strength there, I think, is now something to take seriously in terms of them being maybe serious title contenders. They're only 2 points off the top now, and it's obviously very difficult to.
And they're scoring goals as well.
They're scoring goals freely, very freely. So yeah, I think Kumbrayi Mutiwe Kuziwa is actually now putting his name in the hat as maybe a coach of the year just before the halfway point of the season.
Now let's talk about the club that you guys just literally called me out for saying their name the wrong way. I'm not, as a matter of fact, I am not, because what determines what I'm about to say.
Can we not be childish about this?
Unprovoked Herentals.
It is Herentals.
Okay, Herentals. Let's talk about Herentals, Rukudzo.
You say it like you spell it, okay?
Oh, excuse me. Do you say determine or determine the way you spell it?
Hey, this is not English.
Okay, fine.
Not English.
Herentals.
Yes, Herentals.
Let's have a conversation about them.
Flying under the eye. Whoa.
Okay, yeah. Can we just?
It was all love.
Oh my.
It was all love.
It feels so personal, man.
Just now throwing cold water on us. Anyway.
Okay, sorry.
They're flying under the radar. This is a team that I think most people just feel like the owner, there's the honorable Innocent Benza, is pretty much just interested in the team being in the top flight.
Right,
they really care as long as they don't get relegated.
Yeah.
And that's why now they're flying under the radar. They have an 8-match unbeaten run. 5 of those are wins.
Quite a run.
And the fact is, this last game now, they thrashed Simbabura. Simbabura had conceded 8 goals in their previous 13 matches. So for then Herentals to now smack them 4-1. I guess completely unexpected.
Do you want to know what, Rukudzo? With the form that Simbabura has had recently, I did not expect. I didn't expect them to win, but then 4.
I didn't expect them to lose.
That's the problem.
I didn't expect them to lose, exactly.
It's the amount of goals they conceded there. And I think even Mandla Mpofu then that's the head coach of Simbabura, after the game, he had to apologize to the fans and to the board, saying that was completely unexpected. That is not us at all. I think they have to fix something defensively there. It was very, very bad, because the previous week they held Caps United.
Yes.
So then for them now to come to Harare and get smacked by a team which people would not have expected, I think it was a bad showing. But Herentals themselves, as I said, we want to focus on them. They're flying under the radar. They're producing the results. I think it's being fired by the top goal scorer in the league right now. That's Ralph Kandera. Funny note, he starts each game as a centre back, but when the game progresses, you end up always finding him on the edge of the box or in the box in the attacking half there, and he ends up firing these goals in. This one was a penalty, but the fact is, Ralph Kandera now is leading the way. He's got 9 goals this season in terms of top goal scorer. 9 goals in 14 is a very, very good return.
That's very good.
We'll wait to see if he can continue that in the second half of the season. But the students are a team to watch as well. 8-match unbeaten run suggests that
it's
they're
quite
very
a
serious
run
as well.
Right, and let's talk about the chaos, the crazy that happened at Chawanda Stadium this past weekend. It can't be around the league without that particular story.
This is what I've been waiting to talk about, because I have a lot to say. Okay,
let's start.
The most important problem that happened on Sunday in Kwekwe was the security.
Right.
We understand now that the PSL CEO, that's Rod Otabe, is coming out and saying they had agreed with Hardrock to deploy 80 police details, as well as about 35 private security guards and some 90 marshals. But we understand that there were only about 20 police details.
What do you think happened there? Was it a thing of they did not want to pay?
Or
the suggestion is, this is an allegation, nothing has been confirmed
so
yet.
by saying allegedly.
Yeah, so I said it's an allegation.
Yeah, because
it's an allegation.
It's very important.
Hardrock did not pay for those 80 police
for the security. Was
it
because
looks
they
like
did
maybe
not
they were
anticipate?
Allegedly, they were looking to cut costs. Or maybe they were underestimating the level of interest in the game, which is a massive mistake.
But do you know what? Do you know what?
Which is a massive
to be
mistake.
fair, they've played other teams and nothing's happened. Do you get
I
what
mean,
I
the
mean?
magnitude of the game as well.
Yeah.
It's Dynamos in Quick.
Well,
it's a big game.
It is a big game, but
The other instance of it was their first game against Scotland, which was the first home game.
Yes.
There was a lot of interest in that one, and there was also some incidents of fans actually forcing their way into the stadium, into the grounds of the stadium, jumping the walls and things like that.
Yes.
And then this happened again on Sunday. The problem is the gates weren't enough. The marshals were not enough, and then there was a situation with thousands of fans actually being outside the ground just minutes before kickoff. They had to delay kickoff.
you know what?
I remember Chemofela talking about this as well.
But besides that, even when we went,
The first game of the season. Yeah.
by the time the game started, so I think generally maybe they have a gate issue. Because some of the guys, the game started and we're still outside.
100%.
But the problem is, fine, you can have plenty of fans outside not being able to get in, but you need to be able to control them and prevent them from eventually jumping the walls or pushing down gates to get in, which is exactly what happened. That stadium ended up being overcrowded. There were too many fans inside already. Now, inside the ground now, there was a situation with fans before kickoff. There were already some fights between Dynamos fans who were like congregated behind the one goal and the Hardrock fans nearby. They were already starting to throw missiles at each other, bottles, little rocks and things like that. That's another problem. Where is all this debris coming from? Especially because it's not just the bottles, but it's like little bricks and rocks. Where are they getting those
coming from?
So as the game then progresses, Dynamos take the lead. And then eventually we have the final straw that breaks the camel's back with the penalty that Hardrock got from the referee. This now we have to be honest about it. The referee made a massive mistake for me.
Yes, he did.
When you look at the laws of the game, it clearly states that if a player is falling and is bracing himself with his arm, if the ball hits his arm, which he's using to brace himself, it's not a handball.
It is not.
That is a ball to hand. And that's exactly what happened to Shadreck Nyahwa. That's the Dynamos captain. But the referee decided to award the penalty. For a while, Dynamos players complained. Some of the fans were starting to throw stuff on the pitch, but it cooled down. The penalty was taken. Matsungu scored. It's now 1-1. The game continues. But now, behind that goal, those fans are now starting to throw stuff at each other. Now the debris is becoming bigger. It's becoming more dangerous. If you hear the Dynamos fans were present, they insist that they felt so unsafe that they started to come down the terraces and had to go onto the pitch.
So, Rukudzo, are you
to
saying
hide
that
from the violence? That's what they say.
No, but
of
you
course,
know
but
what?
there's always two sides to a story, right?
There's always two sides to a story.
Yeah.
But it would be very naive of us
to think that
to think that after seeing the videos and seeing how active the Hardrock fans were on that pitch.
Absolutely.
I believe the Dynamos guys.
I think,
look, the thing is,
considering the fact that the penalty was not a penalty clearly, and everything else that was happening, there's already issues around it.
But the game continued.
Yeah.
If it was a situation where the penalty was given and then the Dynamos fans came down and started maybe attacking the referee, then it's purely the referee's fault. It's happened 10 minutes later when you started seeing a load of Dynamos fans now on the field of play, trying to run away, what they say, running away from the violence of the Hardrock fans. But in the process, fine, you're running away, you feel you're in danger. Why are you having to pull down the fence on the pitch side?
So
why are you damaging?
It wasn't about the penalty anymore,
where
right?
do they go? Because you know what? Let's be honest.
Again,
where do they go?
It's a security situation.
You are in a field where all of them, 3/4 of the people there are Hardrock fans.
Of course, 100%.
That's why we then again we're talking about security in terms of marshals. This is now where there's supposed to be an emergency protocol. Marshals are now supposed to say, okay, fine, let's diffuse the situation and let's now actually like make one particular exit for the Dynamos fans that they can leave through and that no Hardrock fans have access to. But the situation is now the exits were so, I guess it was out of reach for the Dynamos fans. They felt they had to calm down. Again, these are allegations from Dynamos fans. We still have to actually ascertain the situation, but they thought they had to calm down. Fine, they've now come down. You're damaging property in the process. Why are the Hardrock fans then coming down as well onto the pitch and now attacking them? That's the problem.
Yeah,
And I
because
was-
the video,
Yes.
the
Why
video
we
was
now
very,
have
very
you?
disturbing.
But
Fine,
so
but-
I'm saying that there's truth to these Dynamos people because
Okay,
if,
here's my
if they
thing,
were
though.
lying Dynamos people would have just gone and stood where people can see them to say, listen, we are not feeling
We are
safe
not
where we are.
attacking.
Stop the game
We're actually
so we can be
reacting.
taken out. Do you get
That's
what
the
I mean?
most important part. The game should have been stopped
Yes.
as soon as Dynamos, and not by the referee, by the
Before it
marshals
started.
or the match commissioner should have said
Yes.
to the referee, stop the game right now. Let's sort out the situation with the fans behind the goal and make sure that Dynamos fans leave and then the game can continue.
Yeah.
But the fact is now those Dynamos fans, they weren't stopped. They were pulling down the fences. They walked onto the pitch. Hardrock fans then said, no.
Let's
It's
attack.
full time.
It's
Okay,
time.
so here's my thing, because I'm looking at the situation from a outside perspective, right? Number one, the ripple effect of not controlling the ticket system.
Yeah.
Number
Yeah.
one, and not being able to control fans when they're
Yes.
coming in. Number two, and then everything else that then happened. We can't really then say it was because of the penalty, but then there were other issues around
Yeah.
it.
Definitely.
And then cutting costs from the security, that whole
The
thing.
allegation.
The
It's
allegation.
the allegation. But my thing is, Chemofola even mentioned it, I think a couple of weeks ago. He said, why can't we introduce an online ticket system? That way we can obviously control the traffic. We won't have as many people at the gate, because if you have your ticket, you're just coming in, jumping in,
So-
and you have the numbers already.
That's
So
the
you know what?
importance of it. Yeah.
I appreciate that you said that. But we are also coming from a place of privilege. We are coming from a place of we know how to use the gadgets to go in on an online platform and buy these tickets.
People
So-
can learn.
People can learn.
People
We have
can
to
learn.
morph. We have to
People-
change.
people can
Change is
learn.
inevitable. It's
But-
uncomfortable.
And I say this respectfully. Muri ku Chawanda Stadium kune makurokoza. Do you get what I mean? The reality is most of them that are gonna come there are gonna come and pay cash.
People will learn.
Online, but it's gonna take time.
It's going to take time.
It's
Tell me, but to start
We need
now.
to start implementing it now.
need to start
so
now.
that
That's
in the
the thing.
seasons that are coming in, implementation
Privilege,
starts.
guys. You're
It's
coming
not
from a place of
privilege.
privilege.
Okay.
Privilege.
That argument we can continue having.
Yeah.
But now let's sort out the situation on the ground right now in
Yeah.
terms of the punishments, because
Right.
there are going to be some heavy punishments that are
I
coming down.
say both teams get points deducted.
That doesn't. We don't have the
Well,
precedent in Zimbabwe. For said, the situation
Well,
is what we have to ascertain first is there truth in what the Dynamos fans say in that they felt so
Who
unsafe
investigates?
that they had to come down from the
investigates
terraces.
the PSL?
The PSL is
Were they also
the PSL
at fault?
investigates when the PSL are also involved in terms of,
They're involved in
but
this
for
whole
me,
thing.
at this point, from what we're hearing anyway, at this point, it has to be a stadium ban. I know it's a new stadium.
Yes.
I know
No,
people
I
want to be
you
so
know
proud
what?
of it.
I wouldn't say stadium ban. I would say for every game they play, no fans.
That's what I mean by a stadium
yeah.
ban.
That stadium ban
As
as
in,
well,
there'll
yeah.
be no fans in
Yeah.
there. We go back to a COVID era situation where
no
the
more fans.
Hardrock plays their home games with no fans watching for 1 or 2.
Yep.
Just to make sure that we start, sending out a message to these fans that at no point can you come onto the field of play.
But security-
Dynamos
Accountability, guys.
Dynamos fans are the away fans in this situation.
Yeah.
It's kind of difficult for you to then say no away fans can come to Chawanda Stadium, because how do you police that? How do you
Yeah, you
people
can't.
can come in
At the end of
neutral
the day,
colors
yeah.
and buy tickets
Yeah.
and they'll be the away fans. In this situation, I think just there should be no fans at Chawanda Stadium for a couple games. That's for me. In terms of what we've heard, that would be the appropriate punishment.
But in terms of
yeah.
security, I guess now that we've seen what happened, how best then? What do we do in terms of around the field? Because
Enforcement, get the right
So what,
personnel,
we get
the
the
numbers.
personnel around the field?
Yes, enough people, because if it's 20 people against thousands of people, then clearly it's not going to work.
Yeah,
the number of people, the number of law enforcement to at least match.
I think
the
in
number
terms
of
of
the fans there.
all football clubs need to take it seriously on the PSL recommend a certain amount
Security.
of police detail.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Let's do that. Let's start there.
right.
They should be fined for not doing that, for not following that.
I'm sure they will.
They should be. They should be. All right, Rukudzo, before we finish around the league, we want you to predict a couple of games that are coming up in this upcoming
Putting
game
my
week.
head on the block.
Yeah.
Did he have any predictions?
No.
No.
You forgot to ask me.
Yeah.
Thank
Remember,
you.
we had a conversation about that.
Because they were 1-1. It was just.
Okay, Rukudzo, I have 3 games that I want you to predict. Let's start with Dynamos and Gezi.
Dynamos and Gezi. I
Faro.
have Dynamos 1-0 win.
Dynamos will win
Will
1-0.
win.
All right, cool. Moz and Hardrock. Ngoni Stadium.
Ooh, and Ngoni. 1-0 draw.
1-0 draw.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And Scotland, Caps United. At,
Scotland coming off a win. I'll give them a 2-1 victory, especially given the incentive that the
honorable
has put on this
mentioned.
game.
Yeah.
Scotland to win 2-1.
Scotland to win 2-1. So Dynamos, you said is going to win 1-0.
I think
More
Dynamos
than
will
Hardrock
get
get 1-1 draw.
I think Dynamos will end Gezi's unbeaten run. Yes.
All right, cool. And then Scotland is going to win 2-1.
Yeah.
All right, cool. That's around the league this week with Rukudzo. We had a lot to talk about, but we would want you to engage with us. What's your opinion about the conversation that we were having in our comment section?